All right. Next, we got another only person on here. We got Maurkice Pouncey, recently retired offensive lineman.
Out of Pittsburgh, I believe, right?
Played his entire career in Pittsburgh.
Yep. All right, cool.
11 years under his belt. He's had nothing as regards to Super Bowls and MVPs. If offensive lineman wins an MVP, I will die. But he is a 5-time All-Pro with 31st team. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler. He's played and started in 134 games.
Yep.
He's only allowed 16 sacks in his entire career. And he missed 2 of those seasons due to injury.
Yeah, which did hurt a little bit, but...
Yeah. He was on the 2010s All-Decades team, and he's had 3 1,000-yard rushers behind him. 2 were from Le'Veon Bell, by the way.
Yeah. I would say that he would go in based on all of that. He's done so well.
He was one of the best centers ever in the NFL his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for beating the shit out of Mason Rudolph, I'd give him applause for that.
That was one of the strangest moments.
Not Mason Rudolph. Myles Garrett. Damn it, they're on the same team.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait. That's why I was like, that's strange. What wasn't it?
I was so confused. Like my brain just said, okay, somebody got hit. Just say he hit some guy, and it was the wrong guy. He smacked.
Yeah, he was defending Rudolph. There we go.
Beating the shit out of Garrett. I'll remember him for that. Yeah, I know there's no stats for an offensive lineman, so I went with Zach Allowed.
Yeah, the only thing that I got out of stats for him was he had 7 tackles. 134 starts, 2 games played, and 7 tackles. That was all that the internet gave me.
7 tackles.
7 tackles. As a center, I mean, centers aren't supposed to tackle?
They're not. They're not even supposed to move.
Then there you go. He's an enigma.
So, my Hall of Fame person for him was Anthony Munoz. Munoz wasn't a center. He was a tackle, I believe, but he's still one of the best offensive linemen that ever came out of the NFL. That's why I compared him. That's why I compared Maurkice to Munoz. They're both one of the best offensive linemen that ever came out of the NFL at this point in time.
I would agree. I think he goes in 100%.
All right. Last guy on this list. Oh, man. We got to give attention to the kickers, and this guy was one of the best. Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, I would have to say he would be one of the best. I still prefer my guy, but that's me being biased. I'm allowed to do that too. But based
Who's
on...
your guy? Who's your guy?
Jason Hansen.
Oh. Anyways,
I'll talk about him later.
Adam Vinatieri, 0 Super Bowl MVPs, 0 MVPs, but he has 4 Super Bowls under his belt with 4 Super Bowl appearances. He is NFL's all-time leading scorer. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time All-Pro. He was on the NFL's 100th anniversary team. He was on the 2000s All-Decade team, and I can't say it enough. He's been in the league for 25 years.
Yeah.
At the point.
We were talking earlier about longevity.
Yeah, I think he covers longevity.
Yeah, I would say so. But then again, the position is the key part.
It's under.
Of that.
Speaking of positions, the comparison I have for him is another Saints player named Morton Anderson. Now he was a great kicker too. But the thing is, Adam Vinatieri eclipses all other kickers in the Hall of Fame right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you don't see many special teams like punters and kickers in is because the Hall of Fame doesn't really acknowledge that those things exist anymore.
Which
unless you're
makes me so sad.
I know. It's kind of what pisses me off about the next guy we're going to be talking about as far as it comes to me. But yeah, he's a definite Hall of Famer. There's no question about it. First year of eligibility, he'll be getting in.
100%. Just based on these stats, he's got 599 out of 715 field goals made, which is 83.8 completion. His longest is 57 yards, which that's kind of like, I guess, average now, kind of, because there's a lot of people who are doing that plus.
Like, it's very average now.
Yeah.
Because the longest field goal ever was 63 yards.
Yeah.
And there's been many attempts to break that record in an NFL game that just came out just short.
And then
so, yeah.
Total points scored is 2673. So, yeah, based on the stats alone, 100%. I don't care if people say that they're not football players or that they don't deserve the recognition. Special teams is so crucial. I mean, there's been so many games. Exactly. Yeah, ask them. It's very important.
Ask how important special teams are.
Yeah. It's a very, very important part of the game that I fear they're trying to phase out, and it makes me sad.
I mean, with the amount of time teams are going for it on 4th and whatever.
Yeah, like, it's just blah.
All right. So that's actually the end of our list, but we were both able to choose. Well, she was able to choose 2. I was able to choose 1. We were able to choose one player that we both think, NFL, currently active in the NFL or not, that we think should be in the Hall of Fame at some point.
Right.
This is us personally. We're going to speak to it like from our own point of view. This is just going to be, we're not going to be pretending to be unbiased. We're just going to go straight for it. So,
I'm going to let you go first because I have to look something up real quick and make sure that he's actually not. So.
Wait, they.
I didn't want to sound stupid, so.
All right, so my guy, Mike ALSTOTT, the last great fullback of the NFL. He's been in the league for 12 years, but only played for 10. He has 1 Super Bowl appearance and 1 Super Bowl win. He is a 6-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time All-Pro. He has 5,088 rushing touchdowns, 5 rushing yards. I'm an idiot. He has rushing touchdowns. He has 2,284 receiving yards and 13 receiving touchdowns. My comparison for him to the Hall of Fame, Larry Zonka.
Okay.
Now, Mike has been continually listed like as an initial contender for the Hall of Fame. You know, like they got like the initial 150, and then they choose from that. That's been ever since he retired. Like after the 5-year thing, he's been on that list every year. And as I said, he was the last great fullback the NFL had. You can argue that Kyle Juszczyk is now the last great fullback, but he's more of a receiving threat than a running threat. Mike, he was able to do both. He was the last fullback to actually contribute to a team's playoff and Super Bowl win. He was the first person to score in Super Bowl 37, like a touchdown in 37. He was memorable for so many plays that just, like the Cleveland Browns run in 2002, where he just kept bouncing off of every single defender that tried to bring him down for a 20-yard gain. Like, that's memorable. Like, compared to the last fullback that I just mentioned, Larry Zonka, Zonka has 1 more Super Bowl. He has a Super Bowl MVP, and he has more all-purpose yards. But ALSTOTT, he has more All-Pros and more Pro Bowls, and has more career touchdowns, and he has more receiving yards. Now, the main thing they mainly get ALSTOTT for is the fact that he was never statistically dominant. He never once rushed for 1,000 yards. He never once led the league in rushing yards or rushing touchdowns. He's never once led the league in receiving yards for a running back. And, they mainly gauge fullbacks now as running backs. Like, okay, how good were his rushing backs? Like, how good was his rushing? How good was his blocking? The thing is, Mike ALSTOTT, he was like his own player. He wasn't just a pure running or a pure blocking fullback. He wasn't even a pure fullback, to be honest. Like, he was a great, he could do anything out of the backfield. Like, he was so versatile and so great at what he did. Now, he was the last of the actual, like, power running fullbacks, but he was the last of a dying breed, and I think that really gives him a very good, like, everything I just said, I think gives a very good case to him being in the Hall of Fame. He will be in the Hall of Fame one day. I do believe he will be in the Hall of Fame one day. Just, it won't be now or in the next 10 years or 20. I think it will be, like, in a very weak proceeding, a very weak enshrinement class that really doesn't have a lot of talent behind it. But as for the comparison to Larry Zonka, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, just based on that comparison alone.
That's fair. I will give you that. I think he could probably sneak his way in based on everything that you just said. And I respect the pick because I love the fullback position. And the fact that it's not used effectively all that much anymore with the dynamic runners that we have kind of makes me sad.
I mean, only fullback right now in the NFL is Kyle Juszczyk, and that's it. Even then, he's not really much of a threat.
Right, exactly.
You can list off, not going to be. You can list off Derek Watt because he's one of the Watt brothers, not because of what he done on the field.
One of my favorite players growing up was Corey Schlesinger, and he was the fullback for Detroit, and he was kind of who I patterned my own like play and running style off of because I played football as a kid, like through the neighborhoods and stuff, and he was always who I wanted to pattern myself after because he was just so smash mouth and in your face and gritty. So I respect that pick of a fullback for that one, just for the heart connection for me.
I chose Mike Alstott over Rondé Barber.
Yeah, I remember you talking about Rondé too, so that was interesting.
I mean, Rondé Barber, he will be in the Hall of Fame. There's no denying it, but he's snubbed every year. Now, John Lynch got in last year, and I kept complaining about him getting in the Hall of Fame forever. And Rondé is going to make this happen the next year because there's not going to be a very good class that's going to be eligible.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's kind of sad that you have to go in based on who you're around at the time, but
yeah,
it's what it is. And now, I don't think that any of these would go in. I already mentioned Jason Hansen earlier as the leading scorer for Detroit, so I'm not going to bother with him anymore. So I have these two. Herman Moore for the Lions is a 4-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, and a second-team All-Pro, 2-time NFL receptions leader in 95 and 97, a consensus All-American. He's in the Hall of Fame for the Virginia sports, and he's the Ring of Honor for Detroit, which doesn't say a lot considering, you know, their history. With a stats of 670 receptions with 91.74 in receiving yard and 62 touchdowns. Now, the touchdowns isn't great, but considering the comparisons we did earlier on with the list, it's comparable. And I'm going to say right now that if Julian Edelman goes in before Herman Moore,
you're going to be pissed.
I will be upset. I will be much upsetty over this snub. Because that tandem of Herman Moore and Johnny Morton was fantastic in the 90s. And honestly, some of the only memories I have of the Lions there, aside from Barry Sanders and Corey Schlesinger, but that was like my childhood team, was comprised of that. That and Robert Porcher sitting on somebody, who I really remember that. That was fun. And then Chris Spielman, who's another smash mouth linebacker. I don't have his stats pulled up right now, but he wasn't like super flashy, but he was steady, consistent, and dedicated to the organization. And his play style appealed to me for being aggressive and smash mouth and just take no prisoners style, much like Corey Schlesinger. But if I'm allowed only one, I would have to give it to Herman Moore, because he gets no love.
I never even heard of Herman Moore, but
Exactly.
Until this.
See? No love. And we got people like Julian Edelman running around thinking that they deserve to get in when they didn't even do anything for the team. Like, you could have plugged anybody in and Brady would have been fine. But Herman Moore was that receiving corps.
I was saying that was the last time Detroit ever made it to an NFC championship.
That was on the feet of Barry. But, yes.
I'll say around that time.
Yeah, it was, I think, 94? I think was their
Dodger.
big year. I think 94 was their big year. I have a hat with that year on it somewhere, but yeah, I was 2, to put that in perspective. So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while, but I'm excited going forward. So
yeah, you're excited and you're moving on with another rebuilding time in Detroit.
Hey, look, I like Jared Goff, so I'm okay.
What's wrong with Jared? But there's nothing wrong with Jared Goff. There's nothing wrong with Penei Sewell. It's just there's a lot wrong with everything else.
I'm not saying this is the year. I'm not one of those stupid one-priders who just, every year say, oh, this is the one. No. Yeah. Every year that Patricia was there was supposed to be the one, because he was some, defensive wizard with playbooks for everybody, and I just... We have Dan Campbell now, who's a lot more chill and aggressive and...
Going to eat your kneecaps?
Yes, I like his aggression. I don't care what national media says. I adore him and his press conferences.
I can make him smile.
Exactly. I don't care what he's doing. I will always listen to the pressers, because he's going to say something dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Or show up in a Indy racing car helmet and do the whole press conference in that.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, he's fun. I like him. But, so there we have it. This was a very long video. I'm considering chopping it up into parts.
I'll say, how long is this?
Almost 2 hours.
It's been that long?
It's, just past an hour 49, so I have things to discuss with you. Good. When we're done with this, I have an idea. So, that being as long as it is, I have to get out of here and get a drink, because hydration is important. So,
my throat hurts.
Yeah, mine too. Wow.
I'm Michael Thomas and Mike ALSTOTT.
We thank you guys so much for watching this long breakdown, but it was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's a good way of getting prepped for the NFL season and the predictions verses that will be coming out. I still have a lot of things to think about with that, but I have ideas for how to expand it, so stay tuned. Anything you want to say?
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So anything to say for your end? Any plugging or what have you want to get done?
Plugging. Well, I have my own channel, SDS4800. I do reaction stuff on there all the time. I usually react to my friend Matt, and as of late, she's been doing my editing, so she's doing very good right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If y'all want, I guess my channel will be down in the description, I guess. If y'all want to check me out, you can do so. Mm-hmm. I don't post a whole when I do. It's as much as I can do. I only record with the phone, so it's the best I can do at the time, and I just do it just to do it, and I hope everybody who watches it likes it. So that's all I got to say. That's all I really got to say, Joy. That's all I got to say.
Sorry to put you on the spot there. I know how you are with that, but it's usually how I end things when I have a guest, so.
There's nothing wrong with being on the spot. It's just that there's nothing wrong with being on the spot. It's just that when I'm put on the spot, I don't know what to say to happen.
Yeah, I'm the same. I say a lot, and it's a real problem. But anyway, check out the
recording times. We got to finish this.
Yeah, we do. So check out the links down below for his channel, my link to Twitter, Discord, the usual spiel, merch, memberships, the like, and I will catch you guys next time, hopefully, for more of this NFL content going forward should you want it.
Bye-bye.